Okay, in this video, I really want to talk about the differences between a lead form and a contact form in HoneyBook. I've seen both being used for different purposes, and a lot of people ask me, why do I need to use a lead form? Overall, I think that you should be using lead forms across the board. It is, in my opinion, that it has the latest features. I have not seen HoneyBook update contact forms in a very long time. Lead forms has better functionality, but there is a use case for contact forms that I will share with you. So again, if you're new here, my name is Diana. I am a HoneyBook Pro. I have worked with over 3,700 clients, and I am just going to show you what I know and give you some use cases. So I'm in a HoneyBook demo account, so this has a lot of chaos in this account, but I'm going to start with a contact form. So this is what most of you are familiar with. This is what most of you are probably using right now. I do, again, recommend that you upgrade to a lead form when possible. However, the one and only time that I would maybe recommend a contact form over a lead form is if you're running ads. But even then, it would not be a blanket recommendation for me. So with the lead form, if you've seen my video on custom smart fields and custom fields, I will link that video below in the description. But if you're doing that, you cannot link custom fields to a question in a contact form. So you're very limited in the kind of questions that you could ask and have it sync across the board. So one of the benefits of having a custom smart field is to ask perhaps like, oh, what kind of allergies do you have? And then to be able to tag it to an allergy question and then have that populate again in a email or in a contract of some kind. Like you could reference that answer in a multitude of ways and have it be auto-filled. So in a contact form, you have the basics, which is project date, location, like address, project type. But then I couldn't ask a question and link it to like a custom allergy question that I developed, or even like a preference in a second shoot date, or perhaps like if you ask, I see a lot of people asking about like a ceremony location and a reception location. And so having the two differences, or even just having like a company name versus an organization name, that gives you that ability to be utilized in a lead form. However, under the contact form, when you go to settings, if you go to, settings, and you scroll down, after the form is completed, redirect to, you can choose your own custom URL, and it will redirect directly to that custom page, like a thank you page of some kind, if you're running Meta or Google Ads. That's super helpful. One of the biggest reasons why contact forms is best for that is because it doesn't have the ability to have the scheduler widget like you do in lead forms. So let me show you lead forms. In lead forms, you can create whatever you want, which is awesome. And you can connect it to a myriad of custom fields. So if I go to company settings and I go to preferences and I go to, project fields, and I say allergies, and I hit save, and then I go to lead capture, lead form, and I go to create new, and I'm going to start from blank. I can create this however I want, right? And I can essentially say, here, I want a question. And if I click on the question on the right-hand side, I can link it to allergies. So then in the future, I can also, just so that everybody can see what I mean, go to templates, email templates, go to new template. And if I say, I I see you are allergic to, and you put in insert smart field. Now you have the ability to autofill in allergies, right? However you're doing this is just an example. We have taken note of that and will blah, 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 right? So you can do that. That's awesome. But if you're trying to run an ad under lead form, this is awesome because then I can have it autofilled in a myriad of ways. However, the ability here is if I do a scheduler, which I do recommend for most of my clients because that is what we're chasing them to do anyways. And then from here, under the settings gear in the top right corner, if I scroll down and I send the lead to a URL of choice, which is what I was just showing you before in the contact form. Now, if I was to do this, it can, but it's going to give me a different button because I have a scheduler first, which means when you are trying to run an ad, you're actually paying more because a lot of people don't push the second button. So let me show you what I mean. So here is my website, right? If I click book a call and I click HoneyBook, we are going to fill out this form. So we're going to say this is a HoneyBook test and it's test@test.com. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Business name, HoneyBook test. Let's just say we are in Washington, D.C. and my budget is 10,000. Favorite show is Somebody Give Me a Show. Okay, we'll say Hamilton. We're ready, and this is a test. Now, so I fill out my form. I'm going to book myself a call, and I'm going to say, let's do a call tomorrow at 4:45. We say, okay. We click I agree, and we click submit. Once I do this, because I am booking a call, okay, and because this is a lead form, it redirects. Oh no, this is a terrible example. I think it's because it knows this is not real. Hold on. Okay. This is, I don't know. This is like, anyone have like an old spam email? That's mine. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to take my phone number, but we'll see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it has done this. Now, this, they have to click. There's a button here. Oh, my example didn't work because I didn't redirect you. All right, listen. Here, there would be typically a done button, so it doesn't redirect you to the page of your choice, which is how, when you're running a Google ad or a Meta ad, that's typically how it's counting it. It's always going to go to this page first before it redirects to the page of your choice. So that's a problem. It counts better if you use a contact form for that function. However, but then you lose out, right? There's pros and cons to this. In a contact form, you get the ability to run the ad. It's a direct reply to it all. However, on the lead form, I have the ability to put photos in. I can put a widget for a calendar, like to schedule a call immediately, which is amazing. I can link the fields. I can have them pay for a invoice and a contract. Like I could have them pay for an invoice right away, not a contract. But spoiler alert, it's coming. And so those are some pros and cons to it. Lead forms is where it's at, in my opinion. I know that running ads to it is just really, really, really painful. But honestly, running an ad to a form in general is very difficult. It's a lot of trust. And so what do you prefer? Do you prefer lead form or contact form? Thank you, Chrome. But any questions that you have specifically about lead form versus contact form, let me know. Hopefully this was helpful.